Hello everyone and welcome to day 27 of the blog series on John's Gospel, looking at relationships. Our linked Bible passage today is John chapter 21 verses 15 to 19, which I'll read shortly, and focuses on the restoring of the relationship between Jesus and Peter that brought them both healing, and squared the circle broken by Peter's three-time denial of actually knowing Jesus, which Kay looked at yesterday. So let's read the passage. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of John, do you truly love me more than these?" "Yes, Lord," he said, "you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my lambs." Again, Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you truly love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." The third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him for a third time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep. I tell you the truth, when you were younger, you dressed yourself and went where you wanted. But when you are old, you will stretch out your hands, and someone else will dress you and lead you where you do not want to go." Jesus said this to indicate the kind of death by which Peter would glorify God, and then said to him, "Follow me." So in that passage we see Peter is asked three times by Jesus, "Do you love me?" A sort of triple echo of his earlier denial. Peter responded to each question by assuring Jesus of his love for him. But the repeated question did appear to hurt him deeply, in fact grievously. Peter had already denounced his friendship with Jesus in Matthew's Gospel shortly after he declared in chapter 26 verse 35, "Even if I have to die with you, I will not deny you." These contradictions and failure to stand by his Lord are the reason why Peter was seen to weep bitterly. He knew that he had been a main apostle for Jesus, still could be, but had let him down. Confronted with his failure, in the form of the risen Jesus, Peter will be given the blessed reassurance of Jesus' forgiveness to restore the fractured relationship. Jesus asked Peter about his love for him in terms of agape love, pure and perfect, the essence of selflessness, putting others first. Peter was hurt as he faced up to what he had done, or not done, in that potentially intense encounter with Jesus. But the reading from John shows the compassion for and confidence in that Jesus had for Peter. He tells him he is going to die for his Lord. Now how would that have made Peter feel? Shocked, upset, scared, lost, all of these. But he would not die with Jesus, as we know. Jesus has restored the relationship because he gives Peter the chance to live for him, to continue to spread the good news of his gospel teachings. This would come at a price for Peter. Jesus never said that following him would be easy for anyone. Peter would eventually die for Jesus, not with him. However, the last words in our reading today are, "Follow me." And Peter, of course, did just that, eventually preaching to and converting many to Christianity. We see in Matthew chapter 16, verse 18, Peter is given the keys to the kingdom. So it's never too late for us either. Jesus forgave Peter and restored his relationship with him in the most trying of circumstances. Could we all do the same? It's certainly something to aspire to, but the longer we leave it, the harder it is. The more entrenched the opinions, the more stubborn the stance. A word or deed misplaced or misunderstood can lead to years of bitterness, silence or divide. But Jesus has shown us it's never too late. We still have that chance that he gives us to prove what kind of loving Christians we are, or at least claim to be. Maybe like me, you often finished a phone call or left a meeting thinking, "Oh, I wish I'd said that." I always think that although that can be frustrating, it's preferable to saying to yourself, "I wish I hadn't said that." Jesus blesses us with the ability to ponder and to reflect, to take stock of our actions and our words, and to maybe do it better next time. He blesses us with the strength both to be forgiven and to forgive. Jesus himself shows the sort of friend and brother he is, trusting the restored Peter to feed his lambs, feed his sheep, to nourish them all with his words and his blessing, and proves that the repeated questioning of Peter as to his love for Jesus were not nagging doubts that Jesus had, but his unconditional trust and love, agape. Once Jesus tells Peter exactly what he's in for, he says, "Follow me." He renews his call and allows Peter to fully be the man that Jesus knows him to be. The relationship between them is renewed, reinvigorated, and restored through Jesus' unconditional love of mercy and forgiveness. Like most of us, Peter certainly had chinks in his armour. He was imperfect and had crumbled in the face of extreme pressure. But Jesus knew, in spite of that crumbling, that Peter was still the rock on which to build his church. Isn't that a wonderful illustration of loving forgiveness? Have a good day, everyone. God bless. Bye for now.